At the time I'm recording this, it's the year 2021. Currently, everything is slowly calming down, and hopefully, we'll all be able to get back to the way things were very soon. During my time at home, I spent it doing what most were, which consisted of binge watching various television shows and movies. Near the end of 2020, I found myself in a rut, not knowing what world I could immerse myself into next. I browsed Netflix's catalog and wasn't really sure what to watch. I was all caught up with the Vampire Diaries universe. She-Ra had come to an end. I already watched Legend of Korra a billion times before it even hit the streaming service. So, what was next? Little did I know, I was in for one of the greatest shows I'd ever seen that year. Lately, I've realized that I've been getting into certain franchises that I didn't really care for that much growing up, or things that I wanted to, but I just didn't have the time or couldn't find a way to properly watch it from the beginning. For example, I only recently just got into Star Wars about a year and a half ago. It all started when The Mandalorian premiered on Disney Plus. I had no idea what it was about. I didn't see any of the trailers. I just turned it on knowing that a lot of people were excited about it. That led me to watching the Star Wars movies, TV shows, and playing the video games. At the time I'm writing this, I don't know why it took me so long to watch this anime. When I was growing up, nearly every friend I had was either watching the show, read the manga, or done both. Me, on the other hand, I wasn't really into it as much as everyone else. Naruto, Sakura, Kakashi, Sasuke, I knew who these characters were when I saw them, and I knew of the Nine-Tailed Fox, but, I just didn't, I wasn't that familiar with them. At the age of about 11 to 16, Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super, as well as My Hero Academia, were the only anime I'd ever seen. And I saw a little bit of Bleach, which I do want to get back to, but that was pretty much it. I remember there being a Flash game that had all these different anime characters in it, and Naruto, even though I knew little about him, would always be the main one I'd choose to fight with. But nonetheless, I still didn't have that much of an interest in the show until later on. Earlier in the year, I started watching Naruto, but after the 5th or 6th episode, I remember dropping off and just saying I'd get back to it some other day. That day came after I watched Dashi's videos on Naruto Rise of a Ninja video game for Xbox 360, and seeing that Blind Wave had been reacting to the series. I decided to give it another go. I picked up right where I left off, and for some reason I found myself invested into this show a lot more than I was before. Maybe it was because of the former influence I had, or maybe during my initial viewing I had just been watching a lot of shows at the time, and adding one more onto the pile would mean I'd have to keep up with what was going on in All American and every other show I was watching at the time. But after everything went on break and got delayed and pushed back and stuff like that, I finally had time to invest myself into Naruto. Side note, for some reason, Yuri Lowenthal voicing Sasuke kind of threw me off at first. I knew he was in the show and I knew he played that character. It's just I was so confused. I was so used to him being Spider-Man or Ben 10 that I was just surprised to hear his performance here. I could talk to you about how much I love the music and the sound design and the characters. Those are all good, but what I want to focus on in this video is the main character, Naruto Uzumaki. What I really love about the character of Naruto besides the fact that he's voiced by Principal Perry from Lab Rats, is that literally everywhere he goes, he seems to inspire someone or shed some light on even some of the darkest hearts. Not only that, but I saw a lot of me in the character, and I know you can pretty much say that about anything. Like, I relate to Ben 10 because his relationship with Gwen reflects the relationship I have with my sister, or I see myself in Danny Phantom because sometimes when I'm exhausted, I feel half dead. I don't mean any of that. I mean, Naruto isn't the brightest star in the galaxy. He isn't outright stupid. He just views situations differently than most characters around him. That's just how I see him, at least. I don't have a demon soul inside of me, not that I know of, but I do know how it feels to be the underdog in a situation. For some reason, at the beginning of high school, without any warning or signs, I kind of just shut down and stopped talking as much as I used to the point where my classmates wondered if I could even speak at all. Of course I could, but besides my family, I only had a small circle of friends who I talked to and hung out with. For 4 years, I was constantly asked by my peers why I was the way I was, and I could never give an answer, both because I was shy and also I just didn't know the answer myself. Even though I had friends, I still felt like an outcast and even had some teachers doubt that I could even make it in the real world because I was so quiet. But nonetheless, I graduated, went to college, got a job, and planning on going back to college. Start your engines, the tuning exam begins, which is episode 24, I believe, of the show, is when I realized just how similar I was to Naruto and why I'm making this video in the first place. Like I said before, Naruto isn't a flat out idiot. It just takes him time to understand things, and when he does understand them, he gets the job done through sheer determination and willpower. I watched Naruto sit there freaking out about doing a written test and flash back to when I'd freak out about doing, well, a written test. Getting into Naruto has to be one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. I'm currently watching Naruto Shippuden, and I know it's a lot of episodes to get through, and there's the movies to watch, but I realized that I want to take my time with it. Usually when you binge watch a show, depending on how many episodes and seasons there are, you can finish the series in about a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, sometimes even 1 week if you don't have anything to do. So, realizing I'm slowly burning through these episodes, I think I might take a small break and then watch like 2 or 4 episodes a day. Also, you know those people who say, I watched this show 5 times in a row, or post those memes of watching anything else and rewatching this show for the 10th time. Yeah, I don't trust those people. Sure, Avatar The Last Airbender is a good show, that in my opinion has been hyped up way too much by the more recent wave of fans. But ain't no way I'll believe you if you told me you watched that show and only that show back to back to back to back to back. What do you mean you've never seen Avatar The Last Airbender? What are you, crazy? You don't know what entertainment is, you crazy? And I know earlier I said I already watched Legend of Korra a billion times before it even hit the streaming service. That wasn't back to back. It was at least like yearly. I don't know. But anyway, that was this week's bonus video. I hope you enjoyed me discussing this Naruto experience, I guess you could call it. Uh, Feel free to let me know your Naruto experience or any other character from another show that you deeply related to. if you like these sort of bonus videos where I go off topic and talk about something other than Ben 10, let me know what other videos you like for me to talk about. Maybe some of those shows that I mentioned before. I actually like, doing this. Just, not making a theory video, or, well, maybe making a theory video on, you know, something else, or discussing another show that I really like. Also, you should check out the Almighty Pharaoh's YouTube channel. Just like me, he makes theory and discussion videos as well. And compared to me, there's a lot more variety over there. So if you like this or any of my other videos, you should definitely check him out. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description, or maybe in the comments. It'll be somewhere. It'll be one of those places. He kind of inspired me to kind of branch off and make more content besides the stuff that I was already making. Obviously, I'm gonna keep up, with the Ben 10 stuff. It's just considering that property is where I'm most knowledgeable in terms of like entertainment. But I also want to give you like new stuff, um, because it can get like mentally and creatively exhausting, just like making multiple videos back to back on the same topic. But yeah, thank you all for watching as always, and I'll see you when I see you.